Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to start to show you that how can we make a CRUD application with the help of MongoDB and Mongoose. So for those of you who don't know what is a CRUD application, so CRUD application stands for create, read, update and delete. These are the four options or four operations that we perform on any object on any thing, and that kind of an application is known as a CRUD application. So the goal of these videos is to create a simple CRUD application that will allow us to perform these four operations on a particular database. Now with the help of these four operations, we would easily understand that what is the purpose of each of these actions and how can they help us to create a full-fledged application. In this video, we are going to discuss the basics that are required for us to know before starting on this application. So the goal by the end of these video series is to make sure that you are able to do a to-do list application. A to-do list application is very simple. Just like a to-do list, this application is used to track all the tasks that you have been doing and what is the status of those tasks. So the first action is to create tasks. Then we will add the code to get the list of the tasks, that is the read operation. The U that stands for update will help us to update the status of tasks. So as soon as we complete some tasks, we can update its status to complete. And finally, if we have a list of completed tasks, let's say out of the 100, 80 tasks are completed and only 20 are remaining, so we can delete those completed tasks by using the D, that is the delete operation. So these operations we are going to perform on a to-do list application, but for the purpose of this video, we are going to use some specific tools. So let us just understand what tools we are going to use one by one. So the first tool or the first thing that we are going to use is Mongoose for the schema or the structure of our to-do list. So what is Mongoose? It is actually nothing but a node module. It acts as an API or an application programming interface so that we can interact easily with the MongoDB. So MongoDB is the database, and if we want to interact with the MongoDB database using Node.js or using JavaScript, then we can easily use a npm package called Mongoose. Here you can see some of the code for the Mongoose given. If we try to get a bit deeper into the code, then this is how the code for a schema looks. Now you must be wondering, what is a schema? This word is coming up again and again. So let me just explain to you that schema is nothing but the structure of a task of anything, structure of a database, structure of a table, that is known as schema. It contains key value pairs for the different data types that are available in a MongoDB. For example, if you take a look at this code, the first line is const mongoose that requires a package called mongoose. So this is nothing but for us a way to tell Node.js that we are going to write the code that is compatible with Mongoose. So we are installing the Mongoose package, and you need to know that whatever code comes after this is Mongoose compliant. Next, we are creating a schema that has some key value pairs. The key is name and the value is string. So name would be the name of the field and string would be its data type. Similarly, price would be the name of the field and number would be the data type. So this means that any product that we create using this Mongoose schema will have these four things: name, price, brand and category of these data types. After this, we create something known as models in Mongoose. So Mongoose actually has schemas and models. These are the two basic entities, and models are the instance of the schemas. So once the schema has been created, next we create a model out of that schema. Here, products is the name of the database that is present in the MongoDB, and product schema is the name of the schema that is defined in Node.js. So this is essentially a way through which we allow MongoDB database or MongoDB data to connect with the code that we are doing in Node.js. So this acts as a pipeline. Now once we have done these two things, what we need to do is we need to make sure that Mongoose is connected with our MongoDB database. So for this we have another function known as the connect function, through which we can simply provide the URL of the database to which we want to connect. Like our database name is ecom, so we have provided ecom, but let's say your database name changes to to-do list app. So here you can just provide the to-do list app or your database name. Localhost would remain same and port 27017 would remain same because this is the default port for MongoDB. But before running this, you need to make sure that MongoDB is running on your system, and one way to make sure is that you run the mongod command. So this is all about Mongoose. Next we are going to use Express. Express.js is actually a server. It is a Node.js server. So we are going to use this for the purpose of creating routes. With the help of routes, we can easily just reference to any of the APIs and perform the actions that we want, not only once but as many times as we want through Mongoose. Next, third tool that we are going to need is the Postman API. So we are going to use this tool to perform the actions, to call the routes, to perform the actions, and to make operations, make changes into our existing database. Then finally, we are going to use our browser, our very own Google Chrome browser, to make sure these changes are present. They are actually being done as we wish. Now there are some prerequisites for this course as well. You need to have some basic knowledge of Node.js, and you need to have Node.js and MongoDB installed onto your system. Then only you can proceed with these videos and understand them fully. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly show you that what all things are required. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my desktop and create a new folder and name it as to do app. Then I'm going to go inside this folder and I'm going to run a command npm init. So when I run this command npm init, if you have some knowledge of Node, then you know it would create a package.json file for me, which is essential for me at this point because I need to install some of the basic packages like Express, Mongoose, and Body Parser for me. So here I'm just going with all the default options, not changing anything, and just type yes. So this is now created for me. I can just simply go into this and open it with the help of a Visual Studio Code. Now as soon as I open this folder, you can see package.json is already created for me, although it is empty, but still it's created. Let's just open a terminal and install some of the basic packages that are required for this app. So the first package that we need is the Express. So npm i -- save and Express. This would be our Express server. Let's just wait for a few seconds till it gets installed onto our project. Once this Express would be installed, you would be able to see it in the package.json file. Here you can see Express has been installed. Now let us install our second package, which is the Mongoose package. So npm i mongoose. This is again needed to communicate with the MongoDB database through our Node app. Now our Mongoose package is also installed. Here you can see. Last but not the least, I'm going to go with the third package, that is Body Parser. You must be wondering, what is this Body Parser? So Body Parser is actually used to grab the elements from the front end. So once we run this npm i Body Parser, you can see that this package is also installed. All these three packages are installed. Then what I'm going to do in this to do app folder, I'm just going to create a file called app.js. So this would be my first file, and here I'm going to just write some dummy code to make sure that you understand how to connect to a how to make this app running. So let me just quickly write the code. So here I have written all the code that is required. Here what I have done is I have added all the packages that I just installed, like Express, Body Parser, and Mongoose. Body Parser and Mongoose are not currently getting used, only Express package is getting used. Then I have defined a port 8080, where is the port where my application would be live. Next I have started this application and simply added a console message that app is listening on a specific port. Now to run this app, what I'm going to do is in the terminal I'm just going to write node app, and as soon as I write, you can see that I'm getting the message that app is listening on this particular port 8080. Let us make some changes to the message, make it more understandable, more beautiful. And once I save the changes, you see that I have to rerun this code node app so that I can see the changes. So to get rid of this, I'm just going to add another package called NodeMon. This will automatically restart my app as soon as I make any changes and save it. So let's just wait till this package is installed and let's test it. So here I have done a change. Let me just run the code. This time instead of node, I will run NodeMon app. Here you can see I'm getting the message app listening on port 8080. Let me just make a change, save it, and automatically my app restarts and I'm getting the change. Now we are going to start with the two basic operations, that is create and the read operations. These are the basic operations that allow us to understand the two important functionalities of the CRUD application. So in this video, what we are going to do is, first of all, we are going to define the schema of our tasks app, and then we are going to understand that what all operations we need to perform in order to create new tasks, and then what operations we need to perform in order to view those tasks. So first of all, let us understand what is going to be our schema. So this is the schema that I have already created. So let us first understand what is the code, and then we will see how can we add it into our project. So here the first line is to require Mongoose, because we know that schema is a part of Mongoose package. So to define a schema, we first need to make sure that we are using the Mongoose package in our application. The second thing is where we start defining our schema. Since this is related to tasks, so I have named it as a task schema. Here I am taking three values, that is the title, description, and the value completed. Title is going to be a string, description is again going to be a string, and completed is going to be a boolean value which will be true or false depending on whether the task is completed or not. Then finally I'm going to connect it to a model called tasks, and then export this. Now why this export is necessary? Because we define this schema in one file and we are going to use it in another file. Okay, so for this purpose, to allow the usage of this schema into anywhere in our project, we need this module.exports. So let us just see how do we use this schema, how do we create the schema in our app. So here I'm in the to-do app folder. I'm just going to create a new file and I'm going to name it as task.model.js. Now it doesn't necessarily means you have to provide it a same name, but this is a convention. And here I'm just going to paste this code. So this code is provided over here. Next, what we need to do is we are going to make some changes in the app.js file. So here in the app.js file, we are going to integrate this task model. So var task equals require tasks.model. Now earlier we were requiring the packages, and this time we are requiring a file. So requiring a file is somewhat different from requiring a package. That is why what we have done is we are added this path that tells us that this is not a package but in fact a file. Next we are going to define some routes. So this is the express route that I have defined. This will allow us to get the tasks. But before that, let us just save this and run the project using NodeMon app and see what difference it makes. Now my app is listening on port 8080. If I go to my MongoDB Compass, here I can see the database is not shown. But if I refresh it, the to-do list app database is created, and within it a collection or a table with the name tasks is created. This is just as I have created the schema. So since I created the schema, MongoDB knows that okay, the schema is created, so it has automatically created a database and a collection with the names I provided. The database name is to-do list app and the collection name is tasks. So in case you are wondering, we can use this mongoose.connect line over here that tells MongoDB that you need to create a new database with the name that we provided on the port 27017. So this is actually the connection string and this is the name of the database. Next we are going to see that how can we get the tasks in here. So this is somewhat this is called an express route. App.get. App is what we are using to reference our express package. Get is the get request. /tasks is the route, and async is the function that may provide us with a that may take a request or provide us with a response. So here I am just simply doing a console.log getting all tasks so that we know that it is doing something. Then on the task, this task which refers to the Mongoose model, I'm doing a find query. Want it to list all the tasks, so I have not given it any condition, so it will list all the tasks for me. Then I wanted to console log it as well as provide it in a form of a JSON. So let us just see how this works. So here I am on the port 8080. Since this route is not working, why it is not working? Because we have not defined anything for it. But if I just go to this tasks route, then you can see that it is giving me empty. On the console it gives me getting all tasks, but since there are no tasks in my database currently, so it is giving me as empty. If I go to Postman and I run a GET request on this URL, then also you can see, okay, so here is some issue. Let me just quickly fix that. So now the issue is fixed. There was a simple issue of not showing the correct results. Now you can see it is showing empty, but we don't want empty, right? So what we can do is we can define a task. So here I have defined a task in another express route, that is the post route. Now what we are going to do is we are going to tell the app that okay, this is the task, please create this task for us and store in the database, and then whenever we want to see this task, we will simply just go to this tasks route and just show us this task. So for this there's request that express requires is the post request, and here we have defined a URL add task. The format for async would be same. Then we have added a try catch block so that any of the errors if thrown can be easily caught. Here we have defined a variable called new task, and in this new task we have defined these three values. These three are the exact values which we defined in the task schema. So for the title of the task we have specified complete CRUD tutorial. In the description we have defined complete the basics on CRUD with Mongoose. And is it completed? No, it's not completed, it's still going on, so I have kept it as false. Next what we need to do is we need to save this task. So new task dot save, this will actually update the task in the database, but this will return a promise to us. That is why we have added this await function over here, and whatever the result is, we are using it, we are storing it in another variable called saved task. Then finally we print the result of whatever the saved task is, and we print its status as well. In case it throws any error, then we say that there was some error adding the task, and we simply print that error with a response code of 500. In case the task is saved successfully, we return the response code as 201. Now one thing important to note is that since this is a post request, it cannot be run directly on the browser. If you want to run the post request, we have to use the Postman. So to run this, we come to the Postman, but before this, make sure that your server is actually running. From here we need to change the type of the request to the post request, and then we change the URL to add task. So I'm just going to copy it and I'm just going to paste it and click on send. So once I do that, I get the whole JSON with an ID. That means it has been created, this task has been updated in our database. If you want to cross check it, we can go to our MongoDB database and just update the database over here and see that our task is created. Now what happens if you want to see the list of the tasks? So we come to our browser and we run this request again, the /tasks request, and you can see that our task is now listed. Similarly, if we just run the post request again, then again the same task is created. Now we have two tasks, and if you again want to see the task, then again these two tasks are showing to us. How do we differentiate between the two? Their IDs are different. If you want, you can just make some changes in the content of the task as well and insert another task. Let's say my title now is to read a book, and my description is to complete the Harry Potter series. So here I update it. And is it completed? No, it's not completed. So here I have made the changes in order to make sure that it is inserted into the database. I run a post query on the Postman and I get the result with the ID. That means the task is created, I can verify it in the MongoDB database. So here it is created, and I can again see that if it is visible or not directly from my browser by referring to this slash tasks module route. If you want, you can get this list in the Postman itself. So let us just create a new route for these tasks on the Postman API, and if we just send this response, then you will see we are getting all these 3 tasks listed. So these are the 2 basic CRUD operations, the create operation and the read operations, that we are able to perform using the Express.js and Mongoose. We are going to see the remaining 2 operations, which are the update and the delete operations. Now before going into that, I'm just going to show you that how our database looks right now. So here are the database that we are using for this video, the tasks database. It contains 3 tasks. So all of them are still in progress. The 3 of them are not completed yet. So now we have 3 tasks with their title, with their description, and they're completed as false. Title, description, completed as false. Title, description, completed as false. If you want to get a list of tasks, we know that we can simply go to a browser and go to this URL localhost 8080/tasks, and we will get a list of all the tasks. If you want to see it in the MongoDB database, that also we can see. And if you want to go to the Postman API and get the list of the tasks, then also we get the same list of these 3 tasks. Right now what I want to do is, I realized that okay, I completed the Harry Potter series, I have read the book and I have completed this task. So I need to update its status to make sure that my database is reflecting the values correctly. I want to update its completed status to true. That tells me that okay, this task is completed. So since I want to update only one task, I need some kind of a value, some kind of a way through which I can identify this task. Now if we look at these tasks, we will find that there is something called as ID, that is a unique value for each task. This is automatically generated, so we don't have any intervention in this, and it is uniquely generated for each and every task. Now if you want to make any changes to a task status or to a particular task, this is the way to uniquely identify the task. So I'm just going to select this and copy this value. In the Visual Studio Code, I have already added the code to update the task. Let us just go through the code to understand what is happening. So since we want to update the task, there is another post request that we want to do. So I've defined another post route, but this time the URL is different. It is update task URL. And then it requires something from us, that is an input from the user of a task ID. That is to uniquely identify that which task we want to update. Here in the task ID, whatever the request parameter is, that we are storing so that we can reference to it later on. In the try catch block, we have added the code. So what we want to do is we have created a variable called updated task, and we want to update the task. So this method of Mongoose, find by ID and update, is going to be used over here. So on the task model, we use this method find by ID and update, and since it returns a promise, so we have added an update function over here. Now in this we have provided the task ID, and what we want to do, we want to set the completed value, the value of completed variable, to true. Then we have specified new equals true, which means we want to get the record, the updated record, printed as well. Then we check this status, that if the task is not updated, so we can say that the ID that you provided was not correct, so the task was not found, and we return a 404 error. Otherwise we say that the task was completed, it was updated, and we return a 200 error, success code with the updated task JSON. And if this whole operation results in an error, then we say that there was an error updating the task, and we return the status code as 500. So let us just see in the Postman that how do we create this request. So we go to the post request, we go here and provide the URL as update task. So localhost 8080/update task, let us just cross check, yes, that is the correct URL. Then to provide the ID, we put a slash and we just paste the ID that we just copied and click on send. So here you see that since it was an existing record, it get updated to completed true. If you want to cross check it, here you can see that earlier it was false, and after refreshing it, its completed value is true. Again, in the browser also you can see the completed value was false, but now after updating its completed change it to true. Now let us cross check that what happens if we provide a wrong ID to it. So instead of this, let us just provide something that does not exist. So it gives me an error that failed to update the task. That means no such task was found for it, and that is why it failed to update the task, since no task existed. So this is the third operation, that is the update operation of the CRUD. Last but not the least is the delete operation. Now let us assume a scenario that we have been working on this to-do list for past 3 months. We have been adding our tasks, we have been updating the task, and it has been very helpful for our productivity. But after some point in time, we realize that we have added so many tasks to it that we often get confused that which task is completed and which is not. So we decide to remove some of the tasks which are completed, and we know which tasks we want to remove. If we come to our database, we can see that currently there are 2 tasks that are in progress. One is complete the CRUD tutorial and the other is get ready for office. They are still in progress, they are still not completed. And the second task, read a book, is completed. So I want to remove this to make sure that my to-do list is not looking very disorganized and all the completed tasks are actually removed from there. So for this we have a delete task operation. So for this also we need the ID of the task which we want to delete. Why do we need the ID? Because it is the uniquely identifying feature of the task, and through this we can point out to which exact task we want to delete. So once you get the ID, we can define another express route for this purpose, and that is the delete route. Now the requests that we have been doing till now were the get and the post requests. Now for the delete operation, there is a special kind of express request known as the delete request that we are going to use. The URL is going to be delete task to identify that what we are trying to do, and it is going to take a task ID from us as an input. The rest of the format is going to be same since we are using a promise, so we would be using the await function. That is why we have used the async function here. The task ID that we were getting from the request parameters is stored on this variable task ID. Then we have defined another variable called deleted task. In this deleted task variable, we are going to store the result of what happens if we delete the task. To delete the task, we have a function defined by Mongoose that is find by ID and delete, and here we pass the task ID that we just got from the request itself. Since it returns a promise, so we have written the await keyword to await for its results, and then whatever happens in this result and whatever is stored in this deleted task, we check it. If it is not a success, then we return a 404 error saying task not found because the ID was incorrect maybe. Otherwise, we simply say that the task was deleted, and we provide a message that the task deleted successfully with a status code of 200. And finally, if any of this step produces an error, then we catch that error and say that there was some error deleting the task and the status code returned is 500. So let us just check this by deleting the read book task. So the name of the URL is delete task. Let us just go to Postman, create another request, and this time the request is going to be a delete request. Let me just update the URL to delete task, provide a slash, and then we simply just paste the ID of the task which we want to delete. Once we click on send, then we get the message as task deleted successfully. Let us verify if this operation actually got performed or not. So right now in the browser we have 3 tasks. If we update it, so here we have 2 tasks. Similarly in the database also we are now getting the 2 tasks. In the Postman API also, if we try to see the tasks by again creating another request to the API, there are only 2 tasks available. The third task, the completed task got deleted. What happens if I change it to a random ID that is not present? Then you can see it gives me a result that it failed to delete the task because no such tasks was existing. Now the server codes that we provided are shown over here, like 500 internal server error. If we go to the headers, then also you can see that what actually is happening over here. This is a Express server. Similarly, if we just delete this kind of a task, if we try to delete this task, or if we, let's say, update its status to a completed, then you can see that the status is 200 OK that we are getting, and its values changed to completed. So that's it for this video. That's how you can create a simple CRUD application with Mongoose. Thanks for watching.